The only people who don't want to disclose the truth are people with something to hide.
Live from our nation's capital at the annual Hold Their Feet to the Fire rally, it's the Joyce Kaufman Show. Here's Joyce.
Welcome back. We have America's toughest sheriff, Joe Arpaio, with us. And how are you, Sheriff?
Huh?
How you doing, Sheriff?
Yes, how are you?
Oh, I'm fighting the good fight, just like you. Of course, you're out there in the field doing it.
Right.
How's it going in Arizona?
Well, I get some setbacks with federal court decisions against me, but other than that, we're still doing our job.
It's the rule of law that's the stand that you've taken and put you front and center for ever since I first met you. And how you've been elected, what, 4 or 5 times?
Six.
Six.
Going on 7 if I don't run for governor.
Oh, my goodness. Go ahead and do it. Jan Brewer's not going to run again. Why not?
Well, even if she did, what makes you think I wouldn't run?
There you go.
That has no basis. The basis is I'd have to quit the sheriff's office, and I don't know if I want to leave with some sensitive investigations I got going. Once I leave, everything goes in a wastebasket. So I have to consider that.
Yeah, that's true. I didn't think of it that way, but you certainly would be a welcome change at the National Governors Conference every year.
Yeah.
Because we got some strange...
Chrissy thinks he's the top guy. If I was in there, he'd be in the back room.
There you go. What about what's going on in Nevada there with this poor rancher that they got like 200 federal agents there? Does that make any sense to you?
I haven't heard about that. Federal agents doing what? Raiding ranches?
Yeah, these ranchers have their cattle. They've been taking their land away from them because they have some endangered tortoise that they have to protect.
Really?
So they're rounding up their cattle and taking them away from them because they're grazing where the tortoise is hanging out.
Jeez, I didn't hear that. Do they have horses and lassos?
No,
Ought to call the sheriff.
It's with the sheriff. They were tasering the people who were standing up for the ranchers yesterday. It's just everything. Every time I turn around, there's this tremendous effort on the part of my government to not protect the citizens and to punish the citizens themselves.
Well, being a federal guy myself for 30 years, top federal law enforcement guy, you do know things like this are not done on a local level.
Right.
That's done right to the top, makes these decisions like that.
Yeah, it's the Bureau of Land Management. I didn't know they had, like, armed officers.
Yeah, but they coordinate with the Justice Department and everybody else. Come on.
There's no justice in the Justice Department. Yesterday, I heard the Attorney General say that he's treated badly because he's black. I mean, come on, Sheriff Joe. Everything's upside down in this country right now.
Am I treated badly because I'm Italian?
That's what it is.
And they use that WOP on menus to this day.
Really?
No one seems to care about that. But if I said something wrong, I'd be driven out of the county. So there's double standards around today.
Yeah. What's your population now? You got 10,000 inmates in the system?
Nah, it's gone down about 8,500. The population of the county still hovers around 4 million that we know of.
Mm-hmm. And they're still in the 10th city?
Yeah, I still got the 10th city going. 21st anniversary coming up August 3.
Unbelievable. Yeah, no, it should be a model for a lot of other states, but of course everybody's worried about the humane treatment of their prisoners.
Well, I put that up in 93 and still there. And they're going to be there as long as I'm around.
What about incoming? Does it seem like there's been an uptick with all this talk of amnesty or pathways to citizenship?
It's a good question. I'm kind of not out of it. I'm still enforcing a state law, but the courts have put handcuffs on me. And the Department of Justice is still floating around. It's been 100 days since Obama took office, but that has not affected my operations, but it seems to be subsiding. Law enforcement isn't as active, although I'm still active on locking up dope peddlers, and many of those dope peddlers are illegal aliens. So does ICE cooperate? Like when you arrest somebody, does ICE cooperate with you in general? Well, when you look at court decisions, I'm not going to talk about.
Right.
They even trying to mess around with that. When you talk about ICE, I just did a survey, wrote to the Secretary of Homeland Security, April 1,
Right.
and I alerted him that we did a survey in our jails, and over 1,300 inmates that are in jail for various state charges are here illegally, and we found out that over 32%, over 400, have been coming back to jail over and over again. So once we turn them over, are they let out the back door?
Apparently.
Roaming the streets? Or are they deported and keep coming back? Because we have coming back 8, 10, 15 times. So what's going on? Is this a facade that's going on? And by the way, I did put a press release out in the letter. Nobody will pick up on it. They talk about deportations, but they don't talk about my letter, my press release, as to what we really came up, hard statistics. So it's really interesting how the media controls this when it has to do with me. Now, if it was they were after me, I'd be in the headlines. But that's the way it goes.
It is. It's very, we know it's an unfair coverage of this issue and of the people who are out there on the front lines. I hear it from Border Patrol agents as well. They tell me that over and over again that they're not getting the help that they need, not getting the support that they need. They're not even getting the bullets that they need. They're throwing beanbags at these alien invaders.
I'm glad you mentioned the terminology because that's they're illegal immigrants, illegal aliens. You notice the media is now undocumented.
Right.
That's the new. First it's the cartels, boots on the ground, undocumented. They always come up with sound bites that everybody picks up and copies.
Yeah, and they're wrong because I know what the definition of alien is, and that is exactly who we're talking about. If I were to be wandering around Guatemala without papers, I'd be an alien.
So before it's over, they're going to call dope peddlers, what do they call it?
Unlicensed
nice
pharmacists.
yeah, well, yeah,
I hear you.
That's a good one. But
it's
it's everything's still going on, business as usual in Washington.
Well, you let me know if you decide that you're going to run for the governor's seat. I know that you might have to sacrifice some of those investigations you're working on, but think about the good of your state.
Well, the state is Maricopa County because the majority of people live in my county anyway.
Right. Yeah.
So, and I have a gun and badge, and I am elected. I talk about as sheriff now.
Right.
But, I've got to weigh it every 4 years. It comes up. And I've already raised $4 million in 14 months.
And you weren't even trying, I'll bet.
No, that's for my sheriff campaign in 2016. So all those critics and opponents think I'm leaving. I am a senior citizen. I'll tell you my age. I'm not ashamed of it.
Go ahead.
I'm 82 in
Good
June, Flag Day. So I work 14 hours a day. They want to throw the age at me, which some are doing. Be my guest. I'll gun all of them.
Yeah, you'd be like Ronald Reagan. He said, I'll forgive you your youth and inexperience. You tell your opponents, that's all. Sheriff Joe, always a pleasure talking to you. Keep doing what you're doing, and let me know. I want to know if you do decide you might tackle the governor's mansion.
Well, and thank you. It's a pleasure talking to you.
Always a supporter of yours, Joe. Tell the guys out there that we love them.
Thank you, Joyce.
Thank
you.
Bye-bye now. Oh, Sheriff Joe Arpaio, he's so straightforward. I'll tell you my age. I'm 82. They want to throw that in my face. Tell them the youth and experience, you won't hold it against them.
The only people who don't want to disclose the truth are people with something to hide.